Hi, it's Mark Russian of markrussian.com. It is Thursday, January 21st, 2021. And I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on Bandcamp here. And just quick monologue. Did the sauna last night for half an hour. And of course, I looked terrible coming out of it. The old capillaries on your face are all. Yeah, I got into 80 Celsius. I found the thermometer in the sauna. That's 176 degrees. You can't live it? You can't be in there. I'm not in there for very long. I'm in there for how I do it is I do 10 minutes. I get out for about 30 seconds, get a drink of water, and then about every 4 or 5 minutes, go back in, and then come back out for about 30 seconds until the half an hour is up. And by the end, you go in thinking, well, maybe I'll have some thinking time there in the box and everything like that. And then by the time as you get closer to the end of the half an hour, your brain is just scrambled, completely scrambled. And you're just like, oh, I can't think straight. Right. Cause your body, your heart is beating and you're sweating. And you're just, when is this going to be over? And then you get out and get out in the evening air, the winter air. And it's great. It's nice. And come home, have a shower. Slept really, really good last night. Slept really, really good. So, anybody has ever thought about doing sauna, going to a place? I go to the Iowa Recovery Room in Iowa City. It's $10 for a half an hour session. I do it once a week. That's my big frill. Because self-care, man, is important. It just is. And never thought I'd get into that, but it's kind of like, wait a second, all the Scandinavians do it. The Finns do it, the Swedish, the Norwegians. Don't they all do sauna up there? And part of my ancestry is Swedish. So maybe that's who knows. So what do we got going on this morning? Just a brief video here because I'm just on break from the day job, but got a little inspired. And what I've been doing lately is I've been trying to set a goal every day of, at least one playlist, a couple playlists, either on Spotify or Pandora or wherever. I know I should be making them on YouTube. I know I should be making them on YouTube Music, but you go where the grass is green, right? And so, what I've been doing is just, it doesn't even matter where, right? It's just a matter of doing it on a consistent basis and getting it down to the point where it doesn't take very long. I mean, I can make a playlist in about 5 or 10 minutes. I know my catalog to a certain degree, whether it's going to be instrumental beats or avant-garde stuff or ambient or nature recordings of a different variety. Spending the last few months doing a deep dive into my catalog and all the artist names that I publish under is really kind of caused me to focus back on that. I'm really, really aware of what I have out there. And I'm also, excuse me here, as a byproduct of that, I know that all or most of my releases are in the major streaming services. In fact, I learned today that one of my albums was not in the Pandora premium side, which is the on-demand side. They have it, but because of the nature of the way that Pandora used to work, you have to submit the UPC and then they get it in there. It's been distributed to them, but it's kind of a odd system. So you really have to go through there with your entire discography. You have to have all your UPCs. You have to. There's a process to it. Anyway, I'm just mopping up, and there was one more. There was one more today. I just took a look when I got up, and there it was. So take care of that. who knows how much that'll earn me in the future, right? I don't know, maybe nothing, right? The other thing I got was a notification regarding this release here, Downtown Buddhist by Calmer Feeling, which I think I've profiled in another video. It is out on Bandcamp right now, calmerfeeling.bandcamp.com. And I'll try to put the link in the description here. Anyway, so I always schedule all my music out a few weeks in advance so that I can at least submit a track for consideration via Spotify for Artists for the Spotify curation team, because there's a team of people that curate playlists on Spotify, and that is potentially a big thing for artists. And if you're not, I have been doing it for a couple years now and have gotten no bites. But I know other musicians who have, and they have gotten into Spotify curated playlists. Not the biggest ones, right? They're not in Rap Caviar. They're not in whatever the new one is. They're not in Lo-Fi Beats. God, I'd love to get into Lo-Fi Beats. But I just don't have, I haven't cracked the code yet. I'm working on it. Maybe I need to have a name with punctuation and lowercase and underscores in it, because I see a lot of the people in the playlist have that sort of stuff. And there's a style that they want for that sort of playlist. And I'm not going to build for the playlist, but maybe the playlist can gravitate to me over time. I don't know. So anyway, so one of the so Downtown Buddhist here by Calmer Feeling. I don't have all my graphics up here because I'm a terrible person. So I was like going through the tracks, and the title track is fantastic. I listened to it again. Of course, it's heavily processed Buddha machine, multiple Buddha machines on my iPad 1 app. That's why you have old apps that are locked in amber that cannot be upgraded, because those great things about old apps don't get coded out of them, right? Or get lost, right? Well, we put this feature, but it's 8 menus down. And then, of course, I run it through my my Empress boxes. And so anyway, I just want a really quick play, Downtown Buddhist. It's only 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Again, it is processed Buddha machine, but it has that, like, it almost seems like a bit of a Harold Budd, Nils Fromm sort of thing, along with the ethereal aspects of the processing, and which I love. So let's listen to Downtown Buddhist here, because we can do it. Let's listen to Downtown Buddhist. All right, that's Downtown Buddhas by Calmer Feeling. That will be out on the streamers on January 29th, 2021. And gosh, the way that I did this year, I might be able to turn this into a podcast. So I'll turn it into a podcast, but I don't think I'll release it until January 29th because what has happened in the past is music that I have out on Bandcamp, if I put it into a podcast before it's released fully, before it hits the release date to the streamers, sometimes there's a problem with that. So I had that with one of my distributors, not the distributor that I'm using for this release here, but a different distributor. So to never have that problem, I don't feature music before it is feature music. Oh, who's contacting me? Who can it be now? Who can it be now? Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So anyway, so there's that. And so the main point of it is when you release something, kick it out a few weeks in advance so that you can at least pitch it to Spotify for Artists. Make sure that you're in Spotify for Artists. Make sure that your artist is in Spotify for Artists. Schedule it a few weeks out in advance, always. And then pick a single track, right? If you're releasing an album. If you're releasing singles, then that's good. Schedule them, maybe 3 weeks out in advance and then just stagger them that way. And then you can always kind of compile them into it. Now, there's ways to do it, and there's no silver bullet. There's no guarantee. Well, you need to make better music. You need to make better music. If you, I read that all the time. That's the biggest crock. Anytime you read something like that, anytime somebody gives advice, well, you need to make better music. Really? Do you think they told that to the Kingsmen when they made Louie Louie? You need to make better music, and the drummer needs to not use the F word. And those lyrics, we're calling the FBI, right? The drummer says the F word in that song. It's well documented. So anyway, yeah. And then the other thing is, set a goal. Try to make a playlist every single day, at least one, maybe 2 or 3, if you get very good at it. And I always start with the graphic. And then you have to be very careful with the description. No one cares who you are unless you're Taylor Swift. No one cares who you are. They're looking for your kind of music. And don't be playing this to your friends. This is for the unknown. This is for the billions and billions of unknown people out there in the world. And whatever system you're on. If you're on Spotify, it's hundreds of millions. If you're making a playlist for Pandora, then it's whatever 66 million active monthly users. That's who you're trying to reach. You're not trying to reach your little, it's fine to reach your little club on Facebook and pay money to Mark Zuckerberg to get your message out. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to stand in your way, but yeah, you want to be reaching the unknown. That's my advice for today. That's my advice every single day. I've just been honing and crafting this over the years. Right, time to go back to the day job. This is I just wanted to crank this out while it was on my mind, and maybe something later. We'll see.